Have you ever wondered how guys can win money every week betting on sports and you can't? It's simple. There are squares, that would be you, and there are sharps, that would be us. In fact, we are big-time sharps. A guy walks into a small sports book in Vegas, places a relatively minor $500 wager on a team, and the line moves to account for his wager. A second guy comes in right after him, places $5,000 on the same game, and the line doesn't move a bit. Why would a small wager move a line and a large wager not affect it at all? It's simple. It all comes down to the guy who placed the wager. This is why bookmakers get to know their customers. A square is a typical public bettor, while a sharp is someone who is a true handicapper. Of course, sharps and squares don't just exist in places like Las Vegas. Every bettor who has ever placed a wager over the internet also falls into one of these categories. There really isn't much middle ground. You either wager for leisure or you wager for a living. So what do sharps do that squares don't, and vice versa? Betting action. Sharps choose a certain number of games and bet only those games. Wagering. Sharps wager the same amount on every game, give or take 10%, regardless of whether they are winning or losing for the day or week. Optimize your line. Sharps wager when they are sure they're getting the best possible line. Most often, this is soon after a line is released. Betting strategy. Sharps do not bet randomly. They have a strategy to make sports wagering profitable, and they stick to it at all times. Each time a sharp places a wager, he is confident that he has a distinct advantage over the bookmaker. Number crunching. Sharps use mathematical and statistical formulas to analyze each matchup they are thinking of wagering on. Once they come to a conclusion as to who has the upper hand, they wager accordingly, based on how significant they feel the advantage is. However, as already stated, no one bet is ever more than 10% greater than the next. Know the game. Sharps know the ins and outs of wagering. They are aware that they only need to win more than 55% of the time to come out ahead. Anything over that is pure profit. Play money. Sharps have a bankroll that they can afford to lose. No one plans on losing, especially a sharp, but losing streaks do happen, and a sharp will only wager as much as he can afford to lose. The typical wager for a sharp is about 2% of his entire bankroll, give or take a few percent. So now that you know the difference between a sharp and a square, and what their betting tendencies are, which one are you? Don't feel bad if you have to admit to being a square. You are not alone. The average bettor is a square, and sharps are very rare. Sign up for 30 days and let us guide you and take all of the guesswork out of it so that you can sit back, relax, and for once, have a winning year. We are big-time sharps.